Welcome back to the channel. My name is Logan, and today we are going to do a deep dive on Prismatic Evolution. We're going to do the SIRs, we're going to do raw and PSA 10 graded prices because there's some nice looking sales out there, to be honest with you. There's some crazy PSA 10 prices that you're probably going to want to take a look at and do a deep dive on your own. But we got a lot to talk about. So we're just going to get it started with the king of Prismatic Evolution right here. We got the Umbreon EX. It went on a pretty big downfall. It was like $1,600, dropped all the way, it halved basically to the mid 800s, got all the way back to the about $1,200 range. Now we're kind of leveled out. Lowest listed is 1164, 1190, but from a reputable seller, you had 1195. So we're about high 11s, low 12s for the Umbreon EX. But in PSA 10, guys, last sold $4,300 right here. You got $4,300, $2,800. That's a crazy price. Holy moly. And then 4K, and then $3,950. So we're about $4,000-ish cards for the Umbreon EX from Prismatic. Next up, we got Sylveon. You're looking at about high threes, low $400. Last solds being 301, 340. PSA 10. Okay, well, $1,350 right here. And then a lot of threes. If you can get it around 300, I don't know if that's kind of sketchy, but if you can get it around 300, I feel like that's a really good deal. But last sold in PSA 10, as you can see up there, then you got 1264 as well, 1225. So it's about over a $1,200 card in a PSA 10. That's a pretty good jump right there. That's a really good jump, actually. Next up, we got Leafeon. Sorry, guys, I'm going to be going a little fast because we got a lot to go over. But it was in the low twos, creeped up all the way back up to the high twos. Last sold's being 280, 305, 272, 275. That's pretty good. Last sold's in a PSA 10, though. You got 740 and 899 and then 800. So you're about 800-ish dollar card. High sevens, low 800s for the Leafeon. Next up, we got my personal favorite SIR from Prismatic, the Roaring Moon. This card is just phenomenal. It really is. It got all the way down. What was the 6-month chart? How low did it get? To about 135. Creeped all the way up to basically $300. Last solds for this is 263, 287, 265, 265. So we're about mid to high twos raw. But PSA 10, guys, you're at 1100, 1150. Any more recently, and 1053. So you're well over $1,000 card in a PSA 10 for this Roaring Moon. That's almost that's about a 4x jump. I mean, that's big profit right there if you get it, and it's not terribly hard to grade either. Oh, but let's go look at the other ones. How that's a little bit harder to grade. I didn't even think about looking at that. That's a pretty tough grade. You're getting there. That's almost a 50%. Umbreon, it's a pretty tough grade as well. So we did Roaring Moon. We're going to do Espeon next up. Got all the way down to the high ones. Now it's creeping back up to the mid twos. Last sold 220, 200. Okay, looks like it's kind of staying in that low twos. But that's a pretty good buy for how hard these cards are to pull. And this one with the purple going on, dark purple is my favorite color. So I really do like this card as well. So we got low twos raw. That's about that's a pretty tough grade. Almost at 50% from 9s to 10s. Last solds in a PSA 10. If I could find one, you got 800, 1100. That's a big discrepancy. And another one at 1100, 1100, 1050. So this 800 guy, that's a good buy right there. You got lucky because you're about $1,000 card the other way. Next up, we got my personal favorite Evolution, Vaporeon. He's my favorite. Not my favorite card, but he's my favorite Evolution. It got all the way down to... So it's still kind of at its low. It's still creeping down, okay? So we're at the high ones, low twos. Last solds, yeah, 196, 196, 205, 197. But PSA 10 prices, I mean, that's a really tough grade. We're almost at a third, guys. 1168 and a 10, and almost 3100 and a 9. That's almost a third. 1100, 1300, 1250. So we're well in the $1,100s to $1,200. That's a big jump. That's probably about an 8x multiplier for this Vaporeon, just because of how hard it is to grade. And I actually got one of these because I know I just started on YouTube, but if you didn't follow me on Twitch or Twitter, I have actually pulled a God pack and I sent them all to get graded. And the Vaporeon and the Eevees were the only ones that got the 10. So I really haven't opened up much Prismatic. So I was very, very happy that my favorite evolution got the 10. Glaceon right here next up. It got all the way down to 160, 170 range. Last solds is still kind of around there. 175, 199, 175, 175. So we're still 170s, which is not too bad for Glaceon. This one's not too bad to grade. It's a little difficult, but nothing too major. Last sold's in the 10, 700, 850. Can I get a couple more? 750. Okay, so we're mid 7s, low 8s. PSA 10 for the Glaceon. Next up, we got the Lord of the Rings Flareon. This one took a crazy jump. I remember. It got all the way up to 408 was the highest. And now it plummeted pretty freaking good. We're at 171 right now, with the last sales being 165, 162, 170, 170, 170. So about 170 raw. PSA 10s, how hard is it to grade? We're almost about a 50. Oh, nothing too major. Oh, man. Beyond the last solds, you got 800, 815, 725. So we're about mid 7s to low 8s for the Flareon and PSA 10. Next up, we got Jolteon. Got all the way down to 150-ish, basically. Now it's still selling for pretty near its all-time lows. You got 165, 170, 170, 173. Last solds in PSA 10 were almost at a 50%. From 10s to 9, you got 658 and 605. So mid to low 6s. Nothing too major. So we got the Ceruledge up next. This card, oh my goodness, the texture on this card is insane to look at, especially in Japanese. If you guys know, Japanese has better texture quality than English. So this card specifically is amazing just to kind of look at. So it is at its low, it was about a $90 card. Now it's jumped up to the low 100s. I'm about 126, 127, 125, 126. And then with the picture at 190. So these are going to be selling for more, low premium if it's in really good condition. PSA 10s, it's pretty easy grade, honestly. Almost 50-50 from a 9 to a 10. So last solds in a PSA 10, you got 375. Wow. 370? Oh my goodness, is that consistent? 392, 3. So we're about the high 3s on the Ceruledge. I know that's a pretty easy grade, but for how hard this card is to pull, and Ceruledge is a really cool Pokemon. Really, really nice. And well, man, I don't care about the crown. This card is fantastic in person, so I might be looking to pick up a couple of these. Honestly, I'm going to be keeping my eye on the Ceruledge. Next up, we got the Eevee. This is just the, yeah, I don't really care too much about this Eevee, unfortunately. But it got all the way down to about 105. Last sold's 150, 140, 132, 125. Last sold's in a PSA 10. Well, it's a pretty difficult grade, honestly. 1181 to 2716 and a 9. 661 and a 10. 600, 650, 625. So it's a $600 card all day and night for this Eevee. I mean, it's a pretty tough grade. The multiplier kind of deserves it. 6x multiplier. But I'm telling you right now, I know this is a harder grade. I'm 100% taking the Ceruledge over this Eevee. I'm taking the Ceruledge over a bunch of the cards in Prismatic. So I could buy 2 of the Ceruledges and a PSA. That might be a sleeper Sunday right here. I probably have to put that one just deeper dive. Next up, we got the Dragapult EX from Prismatic. Obviously, I don't know why I'm even trying to talk about that. But we're still around its all-time lows. It's about a $90 card. For his all-time lows, you got 88, 70, or 80, 88, 87, 88. So you're looking at a mid 80s. PSA 10, it's a pretty easy grade. So about 50-50 shot. So 220, 230, 230. So that's not too bad. That's still almost a 3x multiplier. But yeah, man, I feel like for how hard these cards are to pull, I feel like $230 is really reasonable, if I'm being honest. So next up, we got the Raging Bolt, which this card has been kind of all over the place lately. But next, last solds, we got 70, 69, 80, 75, 78, 7. So not too expensive of an SIR. And when it comes to the legendary dogs, this is the Raging Bolt, the alter egos. I'm losing my words right now of legendary dogs. I think the Raging Bolt's probably the most fan favorite. Pretty difficult grade, almost at a 50-50 from the 10s to the 9s. Last sold in a 10, you're looking at a $450 card, 300, 320. Okay, so maybe that 450 is the outlier. Any more sales? 350. Okay, so you're about a $350 card, which isn't that bad. I mean, that's a 5x multiplier. That ain't bad. For how hard it is to grade, not too bad at all. Then we got the Blood Moon Ursaluna. I really enjoy this card. I kind of like the dark, more evil type vibe sometimes when you get out of Pokemon, and this is definitely that. So I really enjoy this, and for some odd reason, I'm gonna go on a little ramble. Any of you guys ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender? You know when the moon gets covered up and the Fire Nation goes crazy and they get all their strength. This is what reminds me. The Blue Moon Ursaluna reminds me of the Avatar: Last Airbender when the Fire Nation is attacking the Water Tribe. Don't know why, but I get that vibe from this card. So you're looking at about a 70, 70, 73, about a $70 card. Basically a 50-50 shot in a PSA 10. 250, 367. Okay, not bad, not bad. 375. Okay. So we're looking about a high threes, 350. So mid to high threes for the Blood Moon Ursaluna. About a 5x. That ain't that bad at all. Next up, we got the Godango. This card's pretty cool, pretty slick. I kind of enjoy it. I can't lie. It's a really, really just cool artwork. Last solds, raw, or 68, 65, 61, 60. Last sold's in a PSA 10. It's basically a 50-50 shot. Last sold's in a PSA 10. You got 260, 265. So mid 200s. Not too bad at all. The Palafin. So a lot of people really enjoy this card. A lot of people are like, this is kind of my favorite card from the set. It reminds you of, if you're really into anime, the artist is manga. I'm pretty sure he does illustrations for those. Oh, excuse me. So a lot of people really enjoy this card, and it's a nice looking card. I don't have any complaints about it at all. Pretty easy grade though. So last sold in a PSA 10 is 175, 270. Which one's the outlier? 250, 240, 275. So mid 200s, mid to high 200s for the Palafin. Not too bad at all. Next up, we got the Iron Valiant. Got all the way to 50. No, okay, that's not all the way. What's the all-time high? All-time high is about an $85 card? Really? Wow. No love for the Iron Valiant. Last sold's 47, 47, 47. So about $47 card. For how hard these are to pull, I'm pretty... Even if it's not the most popular Pokemon, I just can't believe they're that cheap. Last sold's in a PSA 10, basically a 50-50. You got 180, 215, 150, 160. Man, that's... I feel like a lot of these on the lower end cards, I know they're easier grades and not the most popular Pokemon, but I feel like that's pretty reasonable in a PSA 10. That's not bad at all for how difficult the cards are to pull. Next up, we got the Iron Hands EX. Not my favorite, but we're going to do most of the SIRs. Last sold, 43, 40, 40, 40, 40. So about a $40 card. Last sold in a PSA 10. So not that much, not that many graded, but it's under 50% from the 10s to the 9s. So that's pretty difficult grade. You got 165, 215, and 180. So about high 100s, low 200s area for the Iron Hands. 302 and a 10 and 755 and a 9. It's a pretty tough grade. Next up, we got the Iron Crowns. I really love the blue on all of this. This looks really nice. It's low. Is this at an all-time low? I mean, it's still chucking low. You're at a mid-30s raw. So 33, 34, 33, 45? Low 45. Actually, get some 40s out there. Okay. Last sold in the PSA 10. Pretty even. Pretty 50-50 shot for the Iron Crown. Last sold in the 10. Okay, that's got to be Japanese. No way this card got $40 in a PSA 10. 150, 125, So mid 100s area for the Iron Crown and the PSA 10. And last up, you got the Terapagos. Low last solds 40, 37, 32, 30, 30. About a $30 card. Okay, it's under wow, under a 50% from 10s to 9s. Last solds in a PSA 10 153 and 170, 228 and then 110. So it's kind of all over the place for the Terapagos. So that's kind of the deep dive into Prismatic. There's a couple cards in here where I was like, that's a pretty reasonable buy, like the Cerule Edge. That's a really reasonable buy. It's only a 3x multiplier right now, last solds. I mean, that's not bad at all. I feel like that's really, you can deal with that all day. So that's going to be the deep dive into Prismatic Evolutions, guys. If you want to do your own, that's kind of, I try to go quick because we had a lot to get through, but let me know what you guys think about the video. So for the giveaway winner, let's get to the giveaway. So there was only one person that commented. So Mechi Seth, I'm pretty sure that's your name. You win the Victini illustration rare promo. I'll message you on YouTube and get your address and I get that shipped out for you guys. So for the next giveaway, I'll do that in tomorrow's video. So make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the videos. I mean, you got a really good chance to win some good cards on some giveaways. But I appreciate all the love and support as always. Oh, before I end it, let me know what your favorite SIR is from Prismatic. Mine is the Roaring Moon. So make sure to leave a comment in the comment section what your guys' favorite SIR is from Prismatic. I appreciate all the love and support as always. You guys have a good night. Peace.